We should be live.
We should be live. Okay, hey guys. Snap Understeer episode 4? 4-ish.
People have been watching this for 4 episodes.
And they're not bored of us yet. This is amazing.
I actually have people complimenting us. Something's wrong.
Right? Somebody came up to me at karting this weekend and told me, hey, you're that guy. I'm like, yeah, that's me. You know, probably. I don't know. Anyways, as always, it is Dewey and myself, Will. We're going to try out the nickname Dill, maybe? Like the pickle?
We're not. Dill is not happening. We're not going to be a pickle.
This week, we've also got our super special guest, Eddie. Eddie is the founder and CEO of TH Motorsports. And kind of want to bring him on today, basically to, well, show you why we're here and what we do, and kind of talk about what got us started, the challenges that he faced along the way, and feel free to chime in any time with questions about him, the company, his cars, another C word.
Another C word.
Coca-Cola. Yeah, I wasn't really sure where I was going with that, and decided halfway through that probably wasn't a good word to get down. Yeah. So, anyways, Eddie, tell us about yourself.
Wow, this is just you asking me generally about myself.
Yeah. So, like, do you like long walks on the beach?
I do.
Like, let's say we wanted to write like an eHarmony.
What are your
profile
digits,
for
bro?
you.
Yeah.
Right.
ASL all day. So I think we should jump into this company, kind of why we're all here, what we do. You know, I think the point of what you guys have been getting across. I've been watching all the episodes too, and I've also been watching them live from the sidelines.
I'm sorry.
And the idea is, you know, for us to let the public know that we are true gearheads. We sit here, we are in a nice lofty office, it's very cool, but at the same time, we live, breathe, and die by cars. And I think you and I were talking about before, like our track background, how everyone got into track, and that's been this interesting experience that I remember getting a few people into the track later on. I've had a few friends do it too in the past, and like a big supporter that we are is Grid Life. And that actually all started with, what was that, 2006 at WMHM?
Yeah, that was a West Michigan Economy, right? Didn't that whole thing start as just a gigantic economy?
That's all.
Yeah, it's still a gigantic economy. Like
It kind of is. It's a economy sprinkled with broken Subarus now. But
usually,
it's because these Subaru boys can't have anything nice.
Why are you hating?
I've actually been watching the who's watching this live feed, and Chris Stewart is usually watching and gives it a thumbs up then. So Chris, if you're watching,
thumbs up, Chris.
I still remember that I have that 2007 WMHM or 2006 red WMHM shirt that I gloriously loved when I brought my EG there, I think, the first time. So that kind of was the beginning for all of us for racing, understanding track, and that's kind of my background. My background is got into Hondas, was a really big Honda guy.
So you're telling us that you started as a broke Honda boy.
Yeah, I always wanted to make that sticker. If you guys remember, like, the hatchback sticker?
Yeah.
And I always wanted to make that, so if someone wants to do this, then maybe send us one. It's just a silhouette of an EG, and it just says, started with a Honda. And you can put that on any car
you
that
totally
you possibly have.
Not gonna lie, as Subaru as it
like-
gets, and I started with a Honda.
I feel like
Everybody started with
I
a
feel
Honda.
like I
Kinda
did it
had
wrong.
something.
I think I started with a Celica All-Track.
You did it wrong.
I did it wrong.
You did it wrong.
And then like immediately jumped into
That's
my
why
six.
you're broken. Can't handle it.
This is why I'm broken. Coming from the Subaru guy, that's pretty rich. Yeah, so I mean, like, how did you make that jump from Hondas to where you are today? Like, I know that you've got quite an affinity for Porsches.
Yep.
And other finer things.
Yeah, the picture we have up in the background says, what is that?
So it's a 993. It was a cool story with that car, how that thing came to be. I'll jump into how I got into the Porsche, etc. But that car itself used to be a guy here, maybe watching this too, Logan, still awesome guy. And he sent over one day while we were working, he shot me this just link to Facebook. And at that point, Logan was like, Eddie, you should totally get this. This is a badass car. And I looked at it and went, okay, I'm an impulsive person. This looks like, hold on, it's in Illinois. I can get here on the weekend. So I messaged the guy, And I came down there, and it was just, this car was so different. Like, the only thing I ever tracked before that was anywhere near that was this E36. And I mean, it had an M20 in it. It was pretty big.
Let's remember that E36 was the best handling car in America for a while.
It was.
Right.
And this was a fantastic car. It was originally started as a project by Alex at 1.6.
Why are you hating over here? See, we can't agree on anything.
No.
I think that Eddie and I appreciate things that work, and you know, don't have to mess with them a whole bunch and then come up with a bunch of excuses about why we can't win.
Well, it was
You
to
like-
your guys' defense, it was very slow.
Yeah.
So it was like a stock M20. It was quicker on the track as a car that can hold its speed through turns, but not really anything
Well,
else.
it's been stated driving a slow car fast is much more fun than driving a fast car kind of fast.
Well, there's the saying
Yeah,
that if
I
you can't go
remember that
fast
as
at
an
90
S2000.
horsepower, 900 won't
Terrible.
help you. But an S2000 is faster than a Miata.
yes.
That's true.
That's the saying.
But when you have a supercharged S2000 on stock ball tires, you are still going extremely slow. And I do remember that once we built an S2000, it made, I mean, at that point, it made 340 wheel on a Comtech, which was pretty respectable.
Yeah,
I know today
that boogie.
that's, Toyota Camry will blow that off.
Right.
Anything possible.
I mean,
But,
like it's. I think it's pretty amazing that this is a chassis that's anywhere between what 8 and when did it come out? 8 and 16 years old.
You were the king of tangents.
Well, I'm just saying it's
What
8
are we
and
trying to
16
talk about now?
16 years old. And like they're still developing things for it. Like Craftwork is still improving their
That is
supercharger for
true.
the S2000.
Yes.
Like
I
you know,
think I just saw a video. I think it was running sevens. Someone was doing like 1400. Was that Inline Pro?
Probably.
They're running like sevens on an S2000.
That's lunacy.
And I was just blown away. I was like, holy crap! When I made 340, that was a big number. Now it's 1600 horsepower running sevens, and it doesn't break. And I was dead scared of blowing out that LSD. I was also one of those people who.
Well,
went from
that
AP1
car
to
has
AP2
next to
on
nothing in
purpose.
common. I think it's still using an S2000 motor, but the trans is different,
Yeah.
the rear end's different.
It's-
It's probably got a 4.9-inch rear in it.
yeah. Well, 8.8 probably. But
Whatever.
I mean, whatever. Are just rounding up now?
Yeah, whatever.
Everything's close enough.
Everything's a 4.9-inch.
So anyways, we were back to the Porsche really quick. So that's how things kind of progressed. Went from all front-wheel drive cars, EGs, DC2s, and then there was a period in time where I think work just started getting a little too heavy, and my love for cars kind of fell off.
So I mean, how do you balance that? Like, what got you back into cars? How do you keep your career and your hobbies kind of in sync with each other and not get too burned out on one or the other?
Absolutely. So that had a lot to do with participating in racing, actually. That just even entering in simple HPDs really made it a lot more fun than just adding parts to a car
And hard
and
parking
then
it, going
hard
to
parking
meets.
it, going
I
to
mean,
meets,
there's
driving
nothing wrong with that. I
around.
like going to meets too, but I think I kind of went through the same phase myself,
Yeah.
and I wasn't even in the automotive industry until fairly recently. I had a car, I love driving it, but going to meets, bullshitting, BSing. I don't know. Are we supposed to be PC on this channel?
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
Uh,
Light words.
I'm getting conflicting answers
no
here.
F,
So,
no F-bomb, stuff like that. Everything else.
what you
is
mean
fine.
fudge?
Fudge.
Fudge.
But yeah, it's just I kind of lost the passion for it, and I kind of got back into it because I took it autocrossing, and I'd taken like a 4-year hiatus from autocrossing, and the bug bit again. I started doing more and more of that, making to all the weekends that I could. I think it's been even longer since I've been on track. I think last year or the year before was the first time I've been on track for 6 or 7 years probably. Have to do the math.
That's unacceptable.
Yes, I am that old. Probably about 6 or 7 years since I've been on track, and he's I don't know.
Continue on.
So I mean, yeah, I totally understand that, and I kind of agree, and I kind of wanted to get some of your guys' opinions on like what do you guys do other than cars? Like, how do you keep your hobbies and your passions alive? Like, how do they get along with each other? I think someone had commented earlier on one of our statuses that they got started in like BMX bikes or dirt bikes or something, and it was kind of like building and modifying their dirt bikes and jumping stuff, and that kind of like logically progressed into doing donuts, doing skids, trying to get girls hot and bothered, because everybody knows that doing handbrake turns gets girls hot and bothered.
Always.
Well, for
Always.
sure.
Front wheel drive.
Yep. This is why Eddie actually recently impulse bought another front-wheel drive vehicle.
Yes, that's right. So
Yes.
returning back to
Oh,
the age of 16.
It's so good.
As everyone who was 16, I mean 31, so everyone who was 16 at my time realized that having a JDM front end ITR was pretty much the coolest thing possible, at least in the Chicago area. My business partner from Orange County says the complete opposite. He says that just the strangest thing to have. But I don't care, and I found a really
You don't know
nice,
what's up. I'm
That's
telling you.
true.
I'm not even from Chicago, and I know that's hot.
Someone
Yeah.
wants to know if your 993 is still air-cooled.
It is. There probably is a way on the Metzger motor. If you look at the 996s, the heads on those are water cooled, but it's still the same block. So technically, yes, you can make it water cooled, but no, it is still 100%. And I will correct that. It is oil cooled. It's not air cooled. It uses 12 to 13 quarts of oil to keep it cold the
So
entire
like
time.
most German vehicles with their enormous sumps.
Yes, just genuine. But yes, this back to the ITR. We're jumping around a little bit. The ITR was a recent purchase. It is yellow, it's bright, and it is a ton of fun. It's pretty stock, other than JDM front end. It has a swap of a JDM ITR motor, but super cool. Came out of Fargo. Was bought sight unseen, and it's
Fargo, North
fantastic.
Dakota?
Fargo, North Dakota.
It was in North Dakota?
Put it on a truck, brought it over.
Who's got JDM front end ITRs in North Dakota?
That's the only ones that don't get stolen.
That's
nobody
true.
lives in
I
North
will.
Dakota.
Nobody's
if
gonna
I'm
steal
on the
your-
show again, I have to recall. The gentleman was really cool. We talked for a while. He was on a Facebook group. He held the car off for me for a day.
Oh
which
yeah,
was really
this
nice.
is the second car that Eddie has impulse bought off of Facebook.
Yes. So, please send me things on Facebook because I may buy them. I
Right.
always look at.
Send him like your real like jalopy pieces of crap that look like a riot. We are looking for a shop vehicle, mostly to transport stuff. So I don't know, danger vans, adventure vans,
Those are
very
perfect.
much appreciated. If you have one of those old Subaru whatchamacallums,
What, a Brat? Dude, a
no,
Brat would be
A
sweet.
Brat would be sweet, but what about the one that like Justin sent us? They had the side loading panel thing. It was like a pickup, but with like a
Oh, are you talking like
the
the...
mini nano whatever.
Are you talking the like the JDM like
Yeah.
small little K car van
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
truck deal? Yeah, that'd be sweet too.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, any obscure car. There's actually a Facebook group called Obscure Cars for Sale. Join them up.
No,
and just
Matt,
keep
we're not
sending-
getting a Justy to haul wheels around in. That just doesn't make sense.
Jeff Gray says he's got a danger hatch, and you should impulse buy his Focus ST.
Ooh, those seem pretty expensive.
I know, Jeremy. We're
Wait,
working
Jeff,
on it.
is it an impulse? Is it a Focus ST or Focus RS? Because you keep impulse buying these Fords and or other hot hatches, and I know that you kind of like to ruin them as soon as you get them by. I don't know. The general thought is we make our cars better by completely making them worse, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Big
turbo.
We need something that's kind of reliable.
How is that
Kinda
not reliable? Jeff, how long is the warranty still good for?
Diesel van's the right answer, but nobody's
Ruined
gonna
with
do
top
it.
quality parts. Smiley face.
Perfect. As long as you put all top quality parts together, you know they're gonna work.
Right, overnighted from Detroit.
Yeah, overnight from Detroit for sure.
It's a little Asian turbo. Is that supposed to be a crack at me? That's kind of rude, Jeff. I thought we were
He is
friends.
a little Asian turbo.
Those end keys in the back, though. Yeah, give us a call. We can get you amazing pricing on end keys.
I think those are TS10s.
I think
That's
those
a
are
new wheel.
TS9s.
Are they nines?
You ordered them. How do you not know?
I don't know. I
But
guess yeah,
we
I
don't
think it
sell
would be
beer.
nine.
That's the one thing. We don't sell beer. We just want to represent Chicago here.
Oh, yeah.
For
Revolution Brewing.
Fantastic.
If you guys are watching this, if any guys are car freaks, give us a call so that we can get some beer.
He's
Maybe?
right.
I don't know.
They're
That'd be
TS9s.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we-
ordered them. How do you not know what you
We
ordered?
do
That's
always
stupid.
host customers. If you come on Fridays, we can always host you guys. We have this fantastic bar.
Oh, someone has a
That's some fun.
7.3 turbo indestructible Ford.
Ooh,
Oh, it's a van. It's an E250
Van.
van.
Matt.
Diesel.
Matt,
Matt.
it's all the way down in Texas, isn't it? Why are you giving it? I can't go to Texas for your 7.3 liter indestructible van.
I don't know.
You want to bring it up here?
What about the tumblers in the foreground? What about the tumblers in the foreground?
Mm.
Do Jeff, come up here. We'll make you a drink. It'll
Yeah, I
be
think that's
mostly alcohol.
That's where they're at.
Yes! Exclamation mark. Yes to Van or yes to?
yes to bringing it up. We'll have a
No,
talk.
now it's a maybe.
Matt, hit me on the side. We'll talk about that.
Feel free to come down to the van.
Just so you guys know, are they
What you
Yeti?
try to
Are
do.
they? No, they are not Yeti tumblers, unfortunately.
No.
we're not that cool. Just so you guys know, there is about a 20-second delay from when we talk to when we get your comments. So sorry if we kind of seem a little scatterbrained.
There's,
That's kind of how we are, though.
yes. Just more of the
Cool.
more
I
of the
only
same.
do redneck royalty. Send it.
Send it.
What about RTICs, man? They're almost as good as Yetis. Apparently, nobody knows about
I don't know
Pangea.
I
What
don't
is?
know where you guys
What-
are.
what is Pangea, Bart?
They're-
This is like a
Somebody
dry
wants me to-
attention stuff. What is like Pangea is in
The
what, world
continent?
was?
Yeah,
Right.
the continent all being one at one point, or
Yeah.
the world, all the landmass being one at one point.
Was it a car? I feel like I've.
Bartholomew McFarland wants to talk to you about Pangea.
Okay. Feel free afterwards to shoot a message to Snap Understeer about Pangea. We can have a geographical discussion about it.
It's so right.
It's important to you.
Everything Matt wants is supplies in Texas.
I'm gonna go back to kind of diving in on where the Porsche world came from, starting from the Honda world. It was purely impulse on the Porsche world. Although in 2008 I picked up a 996 Turbo.
I feel like you can't go more polar opposite than like Porsche.
You literally
versus
took the
Honda.
engine from the
Right.
front, and then the
Why didn't you
drive
just
wheels
try?
that are right behind you.
Why didn't
flipped
you
it
just try
backwards.
driving your Integra backwards? It would have accomplished pretty much the same thing, right?
There was something. I mean, there was kind of two things during that time. All the cars were suppressed in price, so picking up a 996 Turbo was decently. I can't say it's inexpensive, but the price was right and it was pretty low. And it was a super optioned out one. I ended up 5 years later selling it for $2,000 over what I bought it for. Added 20,000 miles to it. Added some mods, some BBS LMs. So,
Thanks, Jalopnik, for that 996 tax.
yeah, by the way, thank you for everyone who has blown up the price of Porsche cars just because they exist.
Well,
I
they
don't
have
really
bonus
know
bearings
how.
that don't grenade themselves.
That's only on the 996s and on the 997 9Ss. But in any case,
And on the Caymans,
And
and
on
on
the
the Boxsters, and on some of these other things.
it was the jump to Porsche was just because I thought it was a cool car and it was in the price range. So
Mhm.
the progression out of this, it was a supercharged S2000, was either let's figure out something German, and there was BMW. There was an E46 M3 that would have been modded, but I wasn't really into that at the time. Still do love that car. And then this 996 just popped up and I said, well, everything that I read is reliable. Let's try it.
I mean, how do you find the transition?
Matt,
It's like,
overpriced bug.
well, I mean, yes, they are all
I didn't
Volkswagen
say
Beetles.
Yes, it's a giant Volkswagen.
Like, if you compare the silhouettes to each other, they're basically identical, I think. It's still the people's car, but like
That's
a
good
slightly
for life.
richer people's car.
I think there's the whole background in Porsche racing. Like all of us grew up with having some poster, right, of a Porsche somewhere. They did a fantastic job marketing. So I was 23, and I was like, you know what? If I could be 23 and find this car, this is going to be the coolest thing ever.
I was
To
23
try to drive.
and I impulse bought a Cayman S first gen. It broke a lot. That's awesome. Thanks. Kind of ruined P cars for me for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, this thing didn't break. All this thing needed was oil changes, and then the master cylinder, the clutch master cylinder, there's like a combination of them started to slowly die off toward the end of its age. And the guy who has it, Dave, please replace that part. I've talked to you multiple times. Please replace that part.
I feel like this is what happens when you have friends that are in the automotive industry. We remind you a lot to please fix things, and you guys ignore us, and then more things break, and then you get really mad and
And
upset
then you get mad at the car.
Right.
That's
And
what
then
happens
it's
in
not even the
Subaru.
car's
fault.
We
It's
tell you
just
to do
old.
something the right way, it fails, and then you go, wow, this car sucks, and then you go buy something else. It's usually more terrible.
No, that's very no, that's very, very, very true. So I don't know. I think the background of the Porsche cars, it was similar, other than the turbo, but all the newer Porsche cars and this one, they're light, they're nimble. You're not really putting a lot of power down on the ground, so unless you have a turbo. So the the background was very similar to a Honda, right?
Cheapest S2000 is still more expensive than the cheapest Boxster, which is getting silly. But keep in mind, like, expendables
Oh,
for
like a
S2000
987?
are, well, I mean, like, even, I don't know, like, I don't know, you could buy like a really clapped out high mileage salvage title AP1 for like $6,000 to $8,000 these days.
Really? I thought they were like $4,000.
I've seen them cheaper ones.
I
Yeah.
mean, like the cheaper ones are really, really clapped out. Like 6 to 8's like drivable. You put a couple grand in it, and it's like barely worthy of being back on the street. Or the
I
whatever.
still think that first gen Boxster 986, people hated that car.
Ken, I do not keep sending you inappropriate messages. You keep sending me inappropriate messages, and just so you know, everybody in the office can see that.
That is true. That is very true.
The Fishmat S2000. I don't know what that means, Jeff.
I don't know what we're saying here.
It sounds like we have a big supporter for S2000. So I had two. I love the car. I thought that it would. I'm totally playing this up. No, I thought it was a cool car. The thing for me is it lacked a tiny bit of personality, and I tried to inject personality into it.
Oh, he's
Didn't work
talking
as much.
about our friend Yusuck, Alex Yusuck Kim. He had an S2000 that was bought sight unseen from Arizona.
Clap the F out.
Right. It was pretty ruined. And then Alex left it with me for like 3 weeks while he decided to like gallivant around the country and expected me to fix it by the time he got back. Things that happened. I didn't fix it. May have broken more things. It was good. It was good. Seats so clapped on, you had a bath mat to hold you in. Yes, also true. But I feel like that's the case with any of these seats because nobody knows how to get in and out of seats with high bolstering.
No.
No.
Without just being
Especially your
into that.
typical American who will like kind of just
Right.
ram his way out and like smash the bolstering down.
Right. I
Well,
mean,
it's
could
the
you
same
imagine?
ass
Could you
over it.
imagine him getting in an S2000 or Miata? It's not exactly easy for someone over 6 foot to like get in there.
It's actually when I sit down, I end up in the middle of the seat.
Well, no one-
It's your bigger guys.
Well, no one wants to leverage like the parts in the car that you can grab to get
Yeah.
up and then over. Everyone just wants to kind of fall into
Just
the
like-
car.
You can fall
Slide
into it
out
as
of
long
it,
as you
slide
like
into
fall
it.
into it sideways, not just like sit on the bolster and crush it.
It's crazy how many, even the more expensive cars, how many 996s I looked at that were just beat to death on the inside. I'm
Yeah.
like, how little do you care that you just fall into your car on a daily basis?
My buddy
All
Barry
46
in my old
degrees.
O2WX,
That bolster's bad.
that had decently, I don't know, defined bolsters, I guess is a good way of putting it. He would rack his nuts every single time getting in and out of it. He was
This
a
is
bigger
like-
dude.
this is like
and
me
he would
every time
rack the crap out of his nuts
Yeah.
like
This is me like every
baseball
time I
would
get in and
die.
out of like an Evo X. I like sit down, I'm like, oh, I missed a little bit, and that's like straight up my butt crack. That's
I think-
super pleasant.
I think everyone needs to try to get in and out of an release for like maybe 4 or 5 times, and then at that point you'll really realize what it takes to step over
I mean,
in
have
and
you
then sit
gotten
down.
in and out of the Caterham Super 7?
No.
It's impossible, especially because I think the guy was even smaller than I was. So
You guys
it's
ever
like,
sat in a C4 vet?
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna do an
awesome.
impression of a C4 vet right now. This is me getting into a C4 vet. It's a bathtub. You're getting into a bathtub. Your ass is
That is true.
millimeters off the ground.
That awesome red interior.
Oh,
and
that was sick, though.
2000 looking dash.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first one. Everyone hated on that. In S2000, like, oh, this looks stupid, but I love my Corvette. I'm like, they're the same thing.
It's
Yeah.
pretty true. I mean, like S2000 is pretty much just bringing back the best parts of the.
So did the F40 though. The F40 Ferrari also, I believe, had the dash set or the RPM.
See,
that
now
goes
he's
Like a
up.
digital
talking
dash?
about things that
See,
would be digital
that's
never
so-
So is stacked, so is everything else. So don't hate on the C4 Corvette or the S2000.
If it
Brilliant
fits, I
idea.
sits cat. Still
Yes.
not as bad as a Lotus Elise. I want to.
I agree. I still think the Lotus Elise is tougher. If you're a tall guy and
I
it
wanna
has
put
the
2
top
ZC
close,
and an 81
it's impossible.
Celica.
Good choice.
Is this turning into
Wow.
what's the hardest car to get into?
I don't know. Maybe it should be what's the hardest car to get into.
I think
Have
if
any
you
of you
have
guys
NASCAR
into one of the
cars.
newer Fiat, or not the Fiats, the Alfa Romeo 4Cs?
Yes. It is
with a-
really awkward.
I didn't think that was
like,
that bad.
You gotta like step
No.
over
It
the
is
tub,
strange.
and then it's kind of weird.
Yeah, because that B pillar is where you usually get in, and you kind of just look at it and go, wait, what? How? I'm supposed to go around it? And you kind of have to, like, you get in,
It's
and then you
weird.
have to just go, okay, I'm gonna play the game of trust. And I just drop back.
Maybe that's because like I have to get into most cars like that it didn't bug me as much.
Z4 coupe with helmet and race buckets, hardest ever. This is true. Jeff used to have a
Oh, I can see
Z4 coupe 3.0 SI with hard-mounted feature.
Video warranty fitting into cars. Warranty's a buddy of mine. He's like 6'6", super skinny. It's just cramming him into cars. We take pictures of him in random cars all the time because it's hilarious.
Yeah, Jeff had a Z4 coupe that was STR prepped. Had what was it? Recaro SPGs, pole positions. Either way, they're hard-mounted. Now our good friend Pete Snosky owns it. Pete has let me drive the car a few times. I can not see over the steering wheel, and I can barely reach the clutch and gas. So, like, whenever I drive it, kind of a crapshoot. Somehow I don't hit cones, but I go really slow.
How are we doing on time?
Oh.
By the way.
No, he's busted the time. I bet you we're already way past.
We're at 24:14.
Okay. I was just wondering.
You guys want to keep talking? We've got a great discussion here.
That is true.
Pole positions. Yeah, not a fun.
You think
It wasn't like impossible getting out of it. It's just
That's because you're not a
I think the
neither are you.
I think the hardest thing for me to get
Oh yeah, Neil,
acquainted
dude,
to
S2Ks don't work for us.
was
I know.
the head restraint bars on the side. So I think the seat that I have it's a Recaro.
Is it one of the Hans
yeah,
seats?
it's a Recaro Hans.
Yeah.
Which also you don't need a Hans device if you have that seat technically, so it doesn't make sense since your head mounts will wobble around. But if you have a Hans, you can only do it so much too. But great to have both, and I think that was the strangest experience for me, that the seat was in this 993 that you guys see back there, and I remember hopping in just like a street drive, and I started to look around like,
Yeah,
how the
I
hell
can't
do I do
stand
this?
it.
And now with a helmet too, and a Hans device, and then arm restraints on top of that.
You
window
getting into
panel.
that car was entertaining to watch at Grid Life.
I mean, yeah, it's like Dukes of Hazzard style. You gotta just sideways
Just jump in.
So what was your best time at Gingerman with
I have to remember, now that the track is longer in the 130s,
that? With that, do you know where in the 130s you were?
137, if someone wants to call me out for that's way too fast or way too slow.
No, I think that's probably about right.
And you're on
Uh,
pole pavement, right?
it
Before they
is-
repaved it?
No, this is post-pavement.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
They
last
are-
year, spring.
Right now, I think during that time I was on a Pirelli full slick or a Hoosier full slick. Which, by the way, if you guys can comment, I'm trying to change to a Advan full slick because those are available as takeoffs. If anyone has any experience with them, please let me know if they're any good. We're just out of Pirellis right now, and that would be great to find those.
Meanwhile, I'm over here buying used RS3s. And
Oh no, these are used. Don't get me wrong. If anyone needs, there's a great guy that we get from in Wisconsin, John Burgett. John Burgett tires, $80 to $90.
That's
They
pretty
have 4 or 5 heat cycles on them.
Also, if anyone in Chicagoland is like a good tire mounting solution that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, like Holler, maybe. I got a lot of wheels that I need to have tires mounted dismount.
Just has lots of wheels sitting.
Yeah,
I'm
look at
coming for you,
you, Ken
yes,
Kane. Can't hook me up anymore. I feel bad.
I'm coming for you.
I make
I'm just 3
240
tires.
real horsepower.
Yeah, you weigh a ton less too. You got arrow and sleds.
That's true. There's
I
a
like
good one
to
there.
putz around in my stock power, stock Arrow S2000. I mean Miata.
I'd like to go on 130s with STIs. We'll see what happens.
I'm like totally out of my league here. I'm like barely cracking on high 140s.
I'll try. But I think everyone
I
who's
think you're
watching
right.
should go, aside from Gingerman, to Groton. I think that is
Oh,
Groton. It's like the one track no one goes to.
It's like
the
pronounced
most
like
fun
It's
track.
really close to my parents'
All
house.
Groton Statehouse.
It's
it's-
really close to my parents' house. I've always wanted to go there. It looks like it's got a lot of crazy
It does.
elevation, but I wish Grid Life would do something there, or somebody would do something there. That,
People do things.
I mean,
there.
it's like Three Balls Racing, but I don't deal
It
with
is,
those
it's
guys
Three
all the
Balls
time.
Racing.
Three Balls Racing does stuff there all the time.
All
You ever
the
dealt
time.
with those guys? I heard
Yeah.
they're cool.
Yeah, they just did
Yeah.
Gingerman like 2 weekends last weekend,
It's
2 weekends ago.
it's an interesting thing because they let you self-tech.
A lot of the newer clubs let you self-tech though. They
And-
just send you a sheet of all the things that go over
Yeah.
it, and they say, please sign off on it, and if you crash, it's your fault.
Yeah,
Which is kind of the same anyway. If you crash, it's your fault.
Yeah, I'm not that great on it, but other than
I'm aware of
self-tech, they're
Alan,
doing
speak,
great.
the Alan Au Speed Shop. He's always backed up and never can get around to me. But thanks for the recommendation, Crash, Ramon.
Chuck, do you pay Dewey or do you just supply him with parts for his broken Subarus?
My
Pay does not cover my Subaru breakage. That's my fault.
I was about to say it's pretty hard to actually save money when you work here and you're an automotive enthusiast.
Oh, it's bad.
We do support it though.
Matt needs a West Virginia 46 track car. Well, I mean, Matt, give us a call or shoot us a message later. We got a BMW guy that we'll hook you up with.
Matt, you know
That is
me.
true.
You're going to give me a call. Why gotta be that guy?
Rafflecopter.
So what do you guys want to end with? Or is it with the most uncomfortable seat? Hardest seat to get into?
No, I have a complete rant that I want to go
Okay.
off on. We can do whatever. We've all heard the rant that stay out of the left lane or slower traffic, keep right.
It's
Guys.
Yeah.
People, folks that are watching, tell your mothers they do not have a God-given right to just drive down the left lane. I don't care if there's nobody in it or they feel safer. They need to get the hell out of the way.
Yeah,
They
I
are
agree.
causing the traffic.
See, this is not just for cars though. This is if you're on the escalator, stand on the right if you're going to stand. And,
This is in life.
Yeah,
Just
it's
in general.
get out of the way of people that are moving faster than you. Because one day someone's just going to push you out of the way.
And people will try to justify this by, well, I'm already going 10 over the speed limit, so I don't need to get out of the way.
Right,
Yeah,
and
but I'm
that
going
guy's going-
30 over. Get the
Yeah.
hell out of my way.
Also, if we have any CPD friends watching, he drives a blue GC Impreza.
It's black.
It's black. I think he's lying. I think it's actually blue. So
Is it?
I'll get you the license plates later, so you can pull them over, make your revenue.
Yeah, make the quota.
Amen. It's the smoother lane. Yeah, it's the smoother lane because there aren't people slamming on the brakes.
Asian mom
and-
drivers,
Change
talk
it.
to your mom.
She does drive on the highway. It's all good.
Talk to your mom.
I don't know how.
They don't have a common language.
All right, guys, I think we're going to cut it.
Okay, well, thanks again for joining us, guys. TH Motorsports sponsoring us at Snap Understeer. I do see some comments in here. We'll try to get back to some of you. I hate when people auto shoot
Please,
over the left.
please, share and like this video.
Yeah, and
share
then,
and like this video.
If there are topics you want to talk about, shoot us a message, post it on the wall. We'll post it on the wall. We can have a discussion about it. We can all chime in.
Yep.
We love this viewer involvement. I think, bye guys. We haven't left yet, Matt. We're still here. I'm sorry they're so eager to get rid of us, but I mean, all the thumbs up nows. All the thumbs up.
There's so many.
Thumbs up myself.
I can see them flying across his cell phone screen. That's phenomenal.
Thanks for all the. Well, I mean, you can hit more than just that like button. There's also the like and follow our page. Please do share
You're
us.
asking way too much.
Fine. You know what? Don't do anything. I don't care.
All right, guys, it's been real.
Yep. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday, 1 o'clock. Wooey will be here as always.
Not
We're
weird.
gonna stick with Louis.
don't know,
I
I'll
guess.
stick to it. I like it.